With a brand new year quickly approaching, here are 25 things that I think we should all try to avoid. Each item on today's list has been identified as a potential problem causer, and if you're unhappy with your life, maybe looking to make some changes in 2025, I think they could also easily be changed into some valid New Year's resolutions and goals. Now, you probably don't struggle with all of them, but some may resonate with you. I've identified a few myself that I plan to try to actively avoid in 2025 for a happier and healthier me. I also want to note here at the beginning of this video that this will be the last for me for 2024. I plan to take an extended 2-week break from YouTube during the Christmas holidays, and I'll see you back here again on Tuesday, January 7th. So this video will have to last you until then. All right, let's get started with 25 things to avoid in 2025. The first thing that you should avoid in 2025 is ignoring clutter. This channel focuses on minimalism and simple living, and I believe that clutter can be one of the largest barriers to get in the way of a peaceful life. I'll always say that the stuff you surround yourself with isn't actually clutter unless it bothers you. That being said, some people have a higher tolerance to ignore what is going on around them, including extra belongings. So take a real honest and clear look and make sure that that isn't the case for you. Social pressures. You don't have to buy the thing, go to the place, or hang out with the people just because someone said it was the popular thing to do. If you aren't excited about it, but find yourself still experiencing FOMO or the fear of missing out, try a mental turnaround and imagine the positive that you can experience by not taking part. That's called JOMO, or joy of missing out. Look for the bright lining. It can usually be found in any situation. Gossip. What might seem innocent enough can find you unintentionally spreading rumors or false information. If a gossip-infused conversation starts up, it's best not to get involved. Walk away or change the subject if you're able. Remember the respect that you would want if it were you that was the topic of discussion. Avoid excess sugar. I'm a firm believer that most of us, at least in America, consume way more sugar than we should, myself included. Did you know that it is recommended that adult women have no more than 25 grams per day? Personally, that's going to be one of my primary goals for the new year. Less than 25 in 2025. That should be easy to remember. I'm going to keep a little notebook record to keep myself on track, and I'm excited to check back at the end of the year and let you know what I learned along the way. Romanticizing the past. There's absolutely nothing wrong with holding onto sweet, special memories and looking at the past fondly. But if you over-romanticize how perfect it all was and are constantly wishing that things could go back to the way they were before, it's only going to take joy away from the here and now. Each day is a gift and a blessing to be enjoyed. The next thing I want to talk about is shortcuts. Whether facing the option between stairs and elevator, fast food takeout or cooking from scratch, or riding a bike versus driving a car, using the easier way out will not always be the best decision. Putting in a bit of extra effort will provide long-term benefits that aren't always obvious or necessarily appreciated in the moment. So, try not to always search out the quick fix. Sleeping in too long. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an early bird, but those early hours of the day can be the most productive, especially if you have kids and want to get things done distraction-free. If you find it difficult to get up in the morning at a decent time, consider going to bed earlier in the evening. Our bodies crave a schedule that aligns somewhat with the sunrise and sunset. Avoid internet drama. Guys, it's just not worth it. If you aren't able to have a real sit-down, face-to-face conversation with someone, it probably means you aren't really all that close to begin with. So whether you agree on politics, religion, or ideologies, it really doesn't matter. Don't get sucked into petty arguments just because it's easy to type things through the anonymity of the World Wide Web. Toxic habits. These are things that are harmful or burdensome to yourself or others. This category might include always running late, blaming others for your problems, smoking, or consuming alcohol in an unsafe amount. Try to avoid situations that might trigger these habits, and if you're able to, replace them with a healthier alternative. Get support when needed. You should try to avoid making enjoyment take a back seat. I get it. As an adult, it is so easy to believe that all the grown-up stuff needs to come first. Cooking, cleaning, paying bills, maintaining a decent-looking yard, and promising when all of that is done, you will take some time to do the enjoyable stuff of your choosing. The problem is that time never seems to come. We will fill our days, if not totally intentional, to reserve some for our individual passions. Whether video games, gardening, sewing, reading, camping, or a whole host of other things, it is important to reserve time for these things as well. Neglecting your health. Those annual checkups are important. Are they fun? No, but they are important. Make sure you are routinely touching base with holistic and medical professionals who have your best interest at heart and that you feel comfortable with. Avoid buying things that you can't afford. This is me absolutely not pointing my finger at anyone. I've been there and done that, and just let me say that I didn't fully recognize the crushing feeling that debt has until my husband and I climbed out from under its weight. If you are feeling those pressures right now, I really want to encourage you to start being proactive with your spending habits. And the best way to do that is to make sure you only buy things that you have the money available for right now. Always saying yes. In an effort to be a good team player, we can spread ourselves way too thin. It's okay and even encouraged to say no to the things that don't align with our values, priorities, and goals. That doesn't make us selfish or greedy with our time, it makes us responsible. And those things we do sign up to help with, we are more likely to give them our full, devoted attention and care when we have those boundaries in place. Mindless entertainment. Watching a movie or TV show after a long day can be fun, but it can also easily become a trap that is our only form of entertainment. Try replacing your mindless scrolling with something productive or educational. One of my New Year's goals is to set aside 10 to 15 minutes each day to type out Bible passages. I estimate that I'll be able to at least get through the Old Testament by the end of the year and possibly start in the New. And I'm sure to learn new things along the way. Avoid phone addiction. Cell phones can be so useful and make us feel like we are free, but they can also trap us into thinking that we need them to get through our days. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. It's helpful to take phone breaks on occasion. Set that little machine down, go outside, and enjoy nature, distraction-free. Comparing. The common saying, comparison is the thief of joy, could not be more accurate, especially in today's overconnected society. We can see what everyone else is doing, buying, and promoting with the click of a few buttons. I promise you that the more content you become with your own life, the less you will desire to compare with others. Drinking too many water substitutes. Every cell, tissue, and organ in your body needs clean, clear water to function at an optimal level. Personally, I love water, but not everyone likes the taste and tries instead to flavor it one way or another. Truth is, though, that nothing is a perfect substitute for water. Coffee, tea, sports drinks, they can be fine on occasion, but really shouldn't count towards your recommended daily water intake. To estimate how much water you should drink each day, divide your weight in pounds by 2. This is the number of ounces you should aim for. Excessive worry. Faith can be really important in this regard. Realizing that some things are absolutely out of your control and trusting that even the bad times can serve a purpose toward good. That can help to calm worry. Journaling can also be useful for some people, providing a place to write down private thoughts and reflect on them. If you find that worrying has gotten to a point where it's difficult to function day to day, I encourage you to seek out a mental health professional who can counsel you to break free from those feelings. Avoid multitasking everything. While it can be helpful to multitask certain related chores or activities, trying to do too much at one time can actually make you less efficient and cause unneeded stress. Instead, focus on time blocking or creating a general daily flow, which can help keep you on track with everything that needs to get done without the added overwhelm. Aim to avoid being wasteful. Most people in America have an overabundance of just about everything, and that makes it easy to overlook the wastefulness that we might be taking part in. Letting the water run too long, leaving lights on in a room that isn't occupied, buying things that are sure to be trash in just a few days. Doing an audit of your consumption is a thoughtful thing to do. This is another area that I personally will be working on in 2025, specifically as it relates to food waste. I want to do a better job of composting and putting those scraps to good use in my garden. Impulsiveness and procrastination. Either one of these extremes can spell disaster if left unchecked. Many mistakes are made by jumping into something without weighing the pros and cons of the situation, and in contrast, being paralyzed with fear and doing nothing at all won't help you reach your goals or milestones either. If you struggle with either of these, strive to find a solid middle ground so that you can have a healthier decision-making process overall. Avoid ill-fitting clothes. You owe it to yourself to feel confident and attractive in what you wear. If your wardrobe is filled with pieces that are not the right size, you'll dread getting dressed in the morning and be uncomfortable all day long. Consider replacing these pieces as you are able to. I can assure you that having a smaller wardrobe with pieces you love far outweighs a closet filled to the brim with things you loathe putting on. Trying to do everything yourself. It's important to admit that as much as you want to, you can't do it all. Trying to do so will only cause burnout, frustration, and resentment. No matter the social circle you are working within, responsibilities can be shared. Families, coworkers, volunteer organizations, everyone should do their fair share. If you feel like you're being taken advantage of, make your feelings known. They are valid. Pessimistic people. Who you choose to surround yourself with can have a huge impact on your psyche. If the people you associate with have a tendency to always focus on the worst possible outcome of any situation, you might be inclined to second guess or doubt your own feelings. Let me tell you, it's a lot easier to fall into the trap of negative thinking than it is to choose to look at life with rose-colored glasses. It's likely that pessimistic people have poor self-esteem. And you know what they say, misery loves company. If you have a close relationship with a person like this and can't avoid them altogether, try your best to give them encouragement and lift their spirits, but be careful not to do so to the detriment of your own well-being. And the final thing that I encourage you to avoid in 2025 is negative self-talk. This subtle and invisible form of self-hate is absolutely going to keep you from your full potential. If you notice the thoughts of not being capable or worthy start sneaking in, blast them away with positive affirmations and, if you're a religious person, uplifting verses. When it comes to goal setting, be sure to set realistic and achievable expectations. Not doing so will only set you up for failure and cause the cycle to start over again. And remember, even if you start working for a goal and maybe things don't go as smoothly as you had hoped, you don't have to quit. Just readjust and begin again. You are worth it. I always enjoy chatting with you down in the comments section, so let me know what are some things that you personally plan to avoid in 2025. It's always fun for me. I love the new year. I love the fresh start feeling that it gives me, and I really do personally enjoy setting some New Year's goals. And so let's chat about that down in the comment section together. I hope that each and every one of you has an amazing Christmas and a happy new year, and I'll see you back here in 2025.